A dude's dream comes true, so he calls 911.
Let's talk about that.
Hi, I'm Michael from Chandler, Arizona. Good mythical morning.
Good mythical morning.
This episode is brought to you by Catulas.com, the place to get a cotton candy maker. That's right, enjoy spiderweb-like candy in the comfort of your own home.
I really enjoyed making that with you, Link. It was like we were little boys again, making cotton candy together, like we always did when we were kids.
I've never made cotton candy, but now that we have this, it's going to be cotton candy party every weekend. Thanks for joining us. This is a metaphorical cotton candy party in a bottled version on the internet, being streamed into your lives.
In your face, streamed into your face.
Regardless of what you're doing, if you're doing things around the house or driving in the car or in a subway or whatever, if you're driving in a car, you just need to be listening. You don't need to be watching. But you might be at a desk.
You could be watching a subway, though.
I like to imagine you at a desk.
You mean a subway restaurant or like a subway underground train?
That's my point exactly. There are no limits in how you can enjoy Good Mythical Morning as long as you enjoy it.
A man in Florida, he's kind of weighs 18. His name is Mark Welch.
A boyish man.
He made a couple of interesting calls to 911 recently. You may have heard about this in the news if you keep up with such things. He apparently had something happen to him when he woke up. A certain sequence of events happened to him that he thought, it is necessary now that I call the police. I dial 911 because this is an emergency. So we're going to...
The sequence of events that we've already said at the top of the show.
Not a sequence of events.
Sequence
I think that was a Michael Jackson album that never got made. Sequence of events.
That's a good idea.
Sequence of events. Yeah.
The lost songs of Michael Jackson.
He woke up and his dream, the things that he had dreamt, were actually occurring and coming true. And he said, well, I got to call 911. Which, I think it's justified. I think I probably would have. So anyway, we're going to play his 911 calls. Yes, plural, calls. And talk about them a little bit. So our first 911 call from Mr. Mark Welch to the dispatcher.
911, where's the emergency?
Hello, can I have somebody come in Orange City? Yeah.
What's going on?
Something that happened in my dream and it's actually happening.
Okay, what's happening?
That's it. Everything that happened today is actually in my dream and I want to prove to everybody.
Okay, what's your name? Okay, so what did you dream about that's happening?
It's all on paper. I wrote it down.
Okay, we'll get someone out there to you.
Huh?
I'll get somebody out there to you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, so he said what was happening in his dream was happening in reality. So he wanted to prove...
He said, I got to get somebody out here to prove it, to prove that it's happening. He thought the cops were going to come and help prove it.
And then the other thing I like is that when she says, okay, I'll send someone out there, he immediately was like, huh? He's like, for real?
Well, I'd find it interesting that she engaged with him. I like this 911 operator.
Well, you never know.
Because she says, well, what did you dream about? And he says, well, I wrote it all down. It's all on paper. I wrote it on paper, he says.
Because that helps prove it. If you just tell the 911 operator, that doesn't prove it. You have to write it down. The cops have to show up. They have to read it on paper. You probably have to sign it at the bottom. I think there's a whole procedure.
Well, he's keeping a dream journal. I'm proud of this guy so far. I mean, I don't think he's done anything out of the ordinary.
Well, he seems to see it as a legal document, not just a journal.
I need to get a cop out here to legally attest to the fact that my dream is coming true. But it didn't just stop there. Because apparently, the cops showed up. It says the cops showed up and were basically like, what's going on here? And he ends up telling them that he has been smoking a reefer.
Whistling with his fingers?
He's been smoking K2, which is a synthetic marijuana.
It's also a very difficult mountain to climb.
And it is.
It's more difficult than Everest, even though it's not quite as tall
Maybe
as
smoking
Everest.
it makes you feel like you have no oxygen, and you start thinking things like your dream is coming true, like if you were on top of K2. Anyway, he calls... They come over, and then he tells them that he's been smoking the K2. They don't do anything. They don't arrest him for that or anything. I guess maybe it's okay in Florida. And then his parents hide his phone from him. He sneaks out, goes to a neighbor's house, calls 911 again. Here's that call.
911, where's your emergency?
Okay. Watch.
911, where's your emergency?
Hello, I called earlier in Orange City.
What's the address?
Orange City?
And what's the emergency?
The officer told me not to call back, and he said if I call back, then y'all are gonna take me to court. So I'm calling back.
Cause you want
I have to prove something.
Because you want to go to jail?
I have to prove something to my family. So
Okay, you're
can
at
you send an officer back?
City?
Yep. Yes,
What's your
ma'am.
name? What's your last name? Do you have any weapons on you?
No, I don't, ma'am.
And you do not have an emergency, and you're stating that on the tape line?
I don't know.
Do you have an emergency, yes or no?
No.
Okay, and you're saying that the officer told you not to call back, so you did because you're trying to prove a point, correct?
Yes, please.
Okay. What is the problem there? Because obviously there is one.
There's no problem. It's something that happened in a dream, and it's coming true. Everything. So can you just please send somebody here?
Okay. Are you? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Is there an adult there?
No, I'm at my house. Yeah.
No, is someone else besides you?
Me, my mom, my dad, my brother.
Can you put one of them on the phone?
He hung up.
I don't think he got what he wanted. He wanted the cop to come back. He seems to be waffling a lot. I mean, he states his objective. I'm calling back because the cop told me not to call back. If I did call back, they would take me to court. So I'm calling back. That's what he said.
I think he wants to go to court and testify about the reality of the life and the dream world.
With his mom and his dad and his brother there and say, see? It's all happening.
The thing that I'm trying to figure out, the thing that is so interesting about this is I want to know in his mind, in Mark Welch's mind, what did he think was going to transpire that was going to prove to his family that the dream was coming true? I've got a theory.
Okay.
What if in his dream he woke up and all these things were coming true, and then he dialed 911 to prove it to his family.
I'm eating breakfast. I dreamed that.
And in his dream, he called 911.
The sun came up.
And the cops came. So he thought, if I do this last event, my mom gave me cornflakes. Dream, check. I threw up a little bit in my mouth. Check, whatever. I don't know what would happen to you. I had to take a pee. Check. Then I went back and played some Xbox. Check. Then I started smoking K2. Check. Then I called the cops to prove to my family that I had done all these things in my dream. Okay, got to do that.
So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, I mean, I was going simple. I was just thinking this is a prank call, or as some people call it, a crank call.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You don't think it's either one of those?
No.
You think this guy is just cracked? He's just crazy? Or just under the influence of an unclimbable mountain?
But, he ended up he went to jail. He ended up going to jail.
Well, that's the thing I like about the second 911 operator is that she's so snarky because you just can't do that. You just can't call 911 for no reason. I think you've learned that in your own personal life, right?
My wife potentially misused the 911 system when she called about a squirrel that was in the house.
Right, which was another show. You can go back and watch that.
But he actually was arrested. Got a first degree misdemeanor for misuse of the 911 system. That is a charge.
It's a sacred thing. I mean, this is talking about public safety here. Cops don't have time to show up and take notes about whether your dream is real. Hello, are you the one who called 911, sir?
Yeah, I'm glad you showed up because I had a dream and everything that I dreamed is coming true for real.
I'm a cop. I sit around waiting for opportunities to come to people's houses like yours.
Hey, listen. That's my mom and my dad.
Did you dream about me saying this?
Yeah, I did. Everything that's happened, everything that was happening was in my dream. And there's my mom and my brother, and there's my mom and my dad. And could you just prove to them that everything that is happening is in the dream?
Well, did you write it down?
Yeah, it's all on paper right here.
Did you sign it?
Yeah, I mean, I could.
You have to sign it here and then you have to initial here, and then on the back, initial here, here, and here. And
I told you guys this is what, I told you this was gonna happen.
all right, just come with me, sir. Put your hands behind your back.
Hold on,
and,
hey, tell them
these
about...
handcuffs won't work.
Tell
they
them
won't,
about
they won't hurt.
Tell them it's true. Tell them it's true.
It's true. We'll take it from here, parents. No more problems with this chap.
You know, the interesting thing, Link, as we close this episode, I have to tell you that this exact opposite happened to me recently. I experienced something and then I went and had a dream. I did not call 911.
The cops showed up and then you went to sleep and dreamed?
I went, this past weekend, I went up to Santa Barbara. You should go there. It's great. It's great for the family.
Okay.
My mom's in town. We went up there, had a great day. Yeah, on the coast. And they have...
Isn't that the name of a soap opera?
Santa Barbara? I don't think so. I think it's St. Elsewhere you're thinking about. Anyway, they have a big Catholic mission up there. These original Catholic missions that were built all up and down the West Coast, and they're historic, you know, monuments and stuff. Anyway, we go up there and we're going to take the tour through it. Side note, the tour operators were mythical beasts.
Really? Like what? Like a cockatrice?
No, they were humans that watch our videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I asked them if they had any like perks they could give me, and they said no. Anyway, I just tried. So anyway, I go up there, and then I come
pictures
back.
with relics or something?
So this is all where these monks used to live and everything. You know, it was a monastery, right? And so then I go back home, and I watch the PGA playoffs. You know, I'm watching golf on television when I get home.
Okay.
So that night, I have a dream that I was in a golf commune where other golfers were living like monastic lives of golf. And the president of the golf commune was Pope John Paul II. I'm not kidding.
What's his handicap?
He didn't tell me. Probably 2.
But it's now if that came true on the other side, like if you traveled somewhere and there was one of those,
I would call the cops immediately.
Yeah,
to prove it to my family.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna spin the new weighted wheel in this episode of Good Mythical Morning. Woo! Let's see what happens. Let's see if it's going to a different spot. Oh, we're in the blue territory.
Oh! Whoa!
Scoutmaster Link teaches
fire.
Okay, our scout group is kind of small today. It's just you, little sir. Are you familiar with fire? Because you're about to get knee deep in it. Well, I just mean metaphorically, okay?
When do we start?
I want you to take 2 sticks and rub them together.
Where do I get them?
Just act like you got them and just rub them together.
That won't. That's fake. That won't work.
I know, but it's just a role play.
This is stupid.
There you go. Yeah, well, I can't trust you with real fire because you're stupid.
How do I do it? Like this?
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Hey,
you do it on your own time.
I had a dream last night that we did this. Could you call the cops?
That doesn't seem appropriate.